Okay, next item, we have to build topography based on a JPEG provided. Let's go to Massing and Site again. We would have to create topo surface, but since we have already contour lines given on a JPEG, I'd like to bring them into Revit. So, insert. JPEG is treated as image, so let's create a situation here where we're going to import image. Let's look for the image. This is site T15. Open. Plug it anywhere. We'll have to adjust it, move it, rotate it, and so on. So here's our representation of the survey in sketch format. Find possibly the longest property line, either this one or this one, where we can align it with Revit representation of this property and scale it. So here's what I'm going to do. First thing, I'm going to move it with this corner ending up in this point. You can really zoom in and use up and down arrows to pinpoint reasonably accurately. Next thing I'm going to do is rotation. So this would be rotate by reference. I'm going to place my rotation point right here, align it with image of the property line, and then snap it onto Revit property line. So here's my alignment. And the last thing I'm going to do is scale it by reference. Here will be my base point of scaling. Original length, new length. This is sufficient accuracy. Escape, escape. Just to make sure, I would normally go ahead and test my orientation again. True north. Everything rotates correctly. Project north. Pretty much the same. And now I have representation of those contour lines above sea level. So I'm going to Massing and Site. I'm going to create topo surface, place point at true elevation 84, and plug those points in. So I have a tendency to leave them reasonably sparse where I have straight lines, but make them closer, make them dense as soon as I encounter curves, just simply to produce a bit more sophisticated, bit more accurate topo surface. So here's my first elevation at 84. Now I'm going to switch to 86 above sea level, plug second set of points. If this happens, it's simply because you did cover your image with dirt that happens to be non-transparent. No problem, go ahead to wireframe, continue. And again, as soon as you encounter curves and some ground features, I suggest you become a bit more careful and place those points in closer proximity to obtain exact impression of your topography. Okay, so the last point at elevation 93 that I'm placing here, and I'm finishing my topo. Again, this is wireframe, so you see through. If this was hidden line, you're not gonna see your image anymore, but you see your topography and your actual contour lines in Revit. We view this in 3D. So here's our surface, here's our topography. You can switch to shaded view. And here's what I want you to verify. One more time, go to site plan, and test orientation. Project north, true north. Not a bad idea to really verify if it rotates correctly at this point. Just want to avoid issues at the later stage where you have a more advanced project. Let's review a situation where this topography is happening at about 90 meters above sea level. How would our floor-to-floor datum behave? I want you to create cross-section, horizontal cross-section, more or less through the center of the site. Make sure that you're catching your project base point in this cross-section view. Escape, escape. Let's go to this section view. So here's what happens. You created topography at about 90 meters above sea level, yet your level 1 from the template sits at 0 level, which means everything is deep below ground. This is not what you want. You want level 1 to be at the average grade here. So let's move it up. I would like to move them at the same time, so I'm going to lock them with align dimension and place lock, escape, escape, select level 1, move it up, they move in sync. Let's bring it to a surface and let's make some kind of a sense out of this level 1 datum. 88.134 doesn't really make a lot of sense in terms of construction, so let's move it up again. And let's round it to maybe 88.80 above sea level. So here is a decent level 1 elevation, which will create the best cut and fill condition for my construction. But at the same time, I'd like to make sure that this level 1 on my drawings displays at 0.000 and not 88.80. So here's what I would do. I want you to display project base point on the section view. VV, which basically calls up visibility graphics panel for this view. Find site, expand on it, make sure that you switch project base point and you check survey point, apply. Now visibility is active for project base point in this section view. Left click on project base point, unpin it, and provide elevation at 88.8. Left click, do the same for the survey point, unpin it and provide elevation at 88.8. Left click, escape, escape, and you will see that you have your level 1 88.8 meters above sea level, so it's sitting nicely on a surface here, but it displays datum 0.